Hey guys, so it's Fairytales again here, and today I've decided to start bringing you the role parts of the Barbarian Assault guide. And I've decided to bring you the Defender guide first. Defender is probably the hardest rule out of all four, out of the rules at Barbarian Assault. However, once you learn how to defend, it really is one of the easiest rules. Once you know exactly what you're doing, it is just... I enjoy defending now. I remember the first time I went to Barbarian Assault, I hated it. It's like the rule that everyone wants to do on the Queen because you get extra points for the defender when you're trying to get your fighter torso or your fighter hat. But now I actually like defending. I prefer it because collector is quite boring. All you're doing is picking up eggs. It just gets bored. It just makes me bored. And the other rules aren't exactly too enjoyable, but I find it quite fun when you get a stack of four or five runners at once getting KO'd. It's just so nice. And obviously I'm going to show you all how to do that, and then hopefully more people will actually be pro defenders and want to defend. So I'm going to show you a map to explain how you defend. Or another thing I want to mention, this isn't the best method. I'm sure there's better methods out there, but this method, it works. It works 95% plus of the time. You'll get all the runners and not one will escape. Obviously, sometimes it will, and catching them ones, it is possible. There's methods to do it, but I'm not going to be showing you that because it is much easier for your teammates to just load an egg and fire 2 red eggs off it, and it's dead. There is no point wasting effort and time trying to get them. So I'm just going to show you the standard method. This should work pretty much all the time, as I said. So I'm going to show you a map and explain. So I'll bring you back in a second. Right, so as you can see on screen, this is a map of the arena, as I've shown you in the introduction vid. However, I've labelled certain parts which you need to know as a defender. So if you spawn in the 5th spot, which is where you should spawn about here, which is really close to the blue vending machine. This is the machine the defender uses, and it will be blue. So you click this, don't right click and select certain ones, you want to click left click, and this will withdraw an equal amount of each. Then you want to make sure you're calling for the healer. So if you can't call while using the vending machine, it just doesn't work. You have to call after or before. So what most pro ones do is to just type the first letter of the food or type it out, the whole thing, and then call on the horn after as well, just to make sure. But as you can see, I'm going to use my mouse to show you. So you take your food supplies from there. Then you just ignore what the healer calls for you. He's going to call for you, and you don't need to know the correct food as of yet. So as I've labelled by a green rectangle, this is the healer pool. So you want to run to the corner of that, and in your inventory you should have a full invent of food unless you're the team leader, and you'll have the scroll. In the clips I'll show you later, I don't have a completely empty invent because I was doing many rolls while I was there. But if you're planning on defending, make sure your inventory's empty. And if you're in the 5th slot, you certainly won't have the scroll as the leader. So what you want to do is you want to start here and drop the top invent of your row of your inventory and the right hand column as you run to there. So what you want to do is you want to click on your mini-map to about here, as I'm showing with my mouse, and this arrow shows you which direction to run in. You want to, as you're running, you want to go across your invent, click, 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 smoothly. You want to do it timely so that they're evenly spread out. This will be mainly wrong food, the odd correct food, but it doesn't make a difference. What this food will do is, if by this orange rectangle, this is the cave that the runners come out of, and apart from wave 10. So when they come out of there, if they do come down here and don't get attracted by the food, I'm going to show you where to drop over here soon, they will see this food and they'll automatically walk back up because of all the bad food. So the reason you drop even amounts of each is that you still have some correct food left for when you do these slots, because you want to have an even amount of each. So if they do walk down here, this is the only time they can escape, is if they walk west. This rarely happens because of the techniques I'm going to show you, but the odd time that should happen, the teammates will just fire a red egg at them from the cannon. So next, after you run to here, you want to run to, there's like some little stalagmites just north of this cannon. You can't miss them, and you'll see them in the clip shortly. So you want to go to the little southwest square of them, and here you want to drop one of each food. So you want to drop some crackers, you want to drop worms, and you want to drop the other one, which for some reason can't come to my head right now. But you want to drop one of each 3, and then you want to drop one more. It doesn't matter which, because this spot is very important to stopping them from walking west. So you want to make sure that they see this. Then this spot, you want to just slightly northeast of the stalagmites, and you want to drop one of each again, but none extra this time. Then you want to run to the yellow spot, drop one of each again, and then on the blue spot, drop 2 correct food. Of all the waves apart from the first one, there will be more than 2 runners. So as soon as you drop them food, you want to like right click on this hammer. As soon as you drop them, run to this hammer, then run to the first logs, the nearest to you, and on this spot you want to drop an incorrect food. This will ensure that any runners that are attempting to go west will avoid this incorrect food, and they'll run automatically east. Another thing I'd like to mention is that it matters when you drop the food. If the food says it wants crackers, if you drop crackers, that will remain correct, even if it changes what it wants to worms. It matters when you drop it, whether it likes it or not. So with that said, it'll always be distracted by this food and walk that way. So you'll get them logs. All you'll need ever in all the waves is 1 set of logs. Right, and then as soon as you pick them up, you want to run back to this spot. And in the first wave it should be done, but in waves following that, there's a second batch. Always there'll be more runners coming after you've killed 1 or 2. Because there's a maximum spawn of 5 at once. And many waves have second batches, which is 2 or 3 or up to 4 more runners, and you have to kill 4 for them extra 4 to spawn, because since there's a max of 5. So what you want to do on the later waves is, after you've killed 2 on all waves apart from the last couple, it means all of them should spawn. And then you want to stand on this spot, drop a correct food if there's none left, then fix the trap. All the runners will congregate around you, and once every single runner is around you, move. This way they'll all walk onto the food in sync and they'll all get killed, even though the trap can only kill 2 before it's broken. There's obviously another trap over here, but for obvious reasons this one is much easier to lure them to. And now I'm going to go into the guide, the clips, and how to show you to kill them, so you can see exactly what to do, because I understand it's probably not too easy to get what I'm telling you to do from just this. So now I'm going to gather some clips together and I'm going to show you me doing that exact method. Right, so you want to start the game, you want to click the defender machine, you want to call for your healer as well, but since I was on Skype with Simon, I didn't have to call, I just had to tell him on Skype instead of clicking. So you want to click up next to the cannon, drop the right hand side of your invent, as well as the top row. If there is any space in your invent at the top row, you will get more food. Then you want to stop southwest of them stalagmites, drop 4 foods, 1 of each plus 1 extra, it doesn't matter which extra. You want to drop 3 food northeast of it. Then halfway to the trap you want to drop another 3, 1 of each. By then you'll have to call again for the healer, obviously again I just told him on Skype. And then you want to drop 2 correct food next to the trap. The hammer is northwest, you want to run to that, pick it up, then take the next logs. On them logs you want to drop an incorrect food. Obviously you can't see what I've been called, which is probably a bad side of the video. However, I was just getting told on Skype. However, yours will tell you at the top right of the screen where you see the little dotted lines. So then you want to run back to the trap. As you can see, I laid 2 food, so I just waited for 2 to get killed. However, I got lucky and another one went in at the same time. So then I dropped the right food, fix the trap, and then wait for the rest to come get killed. Obviously you can see the collector is already firing at some, and this is what will happen in good teams. Since defender's probably the slowest rule, apart from wave 7 plus, you will be finishing last. But on wave 7 plus, you'll be the healer finishing last, as I'll explain in the healer guide, which will be in the next few days. Now you see I'm doing wave 10, and you want to do the exact same thing. However, since this time there's no cannon, you don't have to do them little free spots. All you have to do is do the row of incorrect food and down the right hand side of the invent. Then you want to drop the 1 correct food next to the trap. This time, since there's no cannon in the way, they literally, watch them all. All 5 of them are spawned, which is how many spawn in the first part of this wave. See them all? They're all just lining up because they're getting attracted by my food. They get forced away from the bad food and they get lured towards yours. This will happen automatically. You can just stand there AFK and wait for them to all come. Then as you see, all 5 come. All 5 get destroyed at once, and it's just that's the best feeling of being a defender. You just see all 5 get killed, and everyone. The best time is to wait until someone's next to you, especially with like a load of noobs. They're really impressed. So you run back next to the trap, drop 1 correct food, fix the trap, and on wave 10 there's only 1 extra in the second batch, and let him get killed. There, as you see, on wave 10 I've finished first. On wave 10 you should finish first as defender if you follow my guide. So there you go, all done. So that's the end of the guide, guys, and I hope this has really helped you to learn how to defend a Barbarian Assault. Obviously, as I said at the start of the guide, defender is one of the hardest roles, and hopefully this teaches more people to be able to do it. And hopefully World 6 will start to see a lot more people who can actually defend. I'd like to see that, because sometimes it's really annoying when you want to do the other roles and you can't get a good defender. So thanks for watching, guys, and please click the annotation on screen for the section of the guide you want to watch. Thanks, guys, see you tomorrow.